let's just cut to the chase. What if I told you that the most important spiritual teacher you will ever meet is, right now, probably asleep at the foot of your bed? That this furry creature who nudges your hand for a treat isn't just an animal you own, but a soul that has been assigned to you. This isn't just another heartwarming story about a man's best friend. This is the unlocking of a profound spiritual secret that completely redefines the role of your dog in your life. And the key to this mystery comes from a quiet, ordinary man who could access impossible truths while he was asleep, Edgar Cayce. Every single dog, Cayce explained in one of his trance readings, is on a mission. They are not just pets, they are spiritual guardians in a four-legged disguise. That boundless loyalty you see in their eyes, it's not simply a trained behavior, it is a soul-deep vow. They register your emotions on a frequency you can't even consciously tune into yet. Cayce made it clear this isn't a physical bond, it's an energetic agreement, a spiritual contract. Now, this was a man who had already proven his stunning ability to diagnose illnesses for people he'd never met, predict world events, and describe past lives with uncanny accuracy. But this revelation about dogs, it hit differently. It spoke a truth millions of us feel in our bones, but have never had the words to articulate. Why did your dog come into your life at that exact moment? With all the dogs in the world, why that specific one? And why does it have the precise personality, the quirks, the habits, the unique way of being that it has? Edgar Cayce's discovery was this: there are no accidents here. There is only a perfectly designed spiritual plan, a mission of the soul dressed up as unconditional love. And now, almost a century after Cayce first spoke these words, we are finally ready to understand their full meaning. Get ready to see the real reason your dog is with you. Prepare to understand the truth of who is really walking beside you. Just stop for a second and think back to how you two met. Perhaps you walked into a shelter just to look and walked out with a soulmate, or one just showed up on your porch lost. Or maybe you fought the idea of getting a pet for ages until some gut feeling, some unexplainable pull made you say yes. Do you honestly think that was a coincidence? Edgar Cayce uncovered a reality that will shatter that notion forever. You and your dog had an appointment. You knew each other long before you met in this physical world. You share a link that stretches across time, reality, and life itself. In the spiritual realm, between lifetimes, we forge pacts. We make soul contracts with those we agree to journey with on earth. These agreements are for family, for partners, for friends, and yes, for our dogs. But before we get into the mind-blowing specifics of these canine contracts, you need to know who Edgar Cayce was. This was no guru seeking followers. He was a simple man who stumbled upon an impossible gift and then dedicated his life to using it to map the spiritual reality we all inhabit. Born on a Kentucky farm in 1877, Cayce was a young photographer who, at 21, was struck by a severe case of laryngitis that left him voiceless. Doctors gave up. But then, the impossible happened. During a hypnotic trance, a friend suggested he try to heal himself. In that deep state, Cayce not only diagnosed his own throat condition with perfect medical precision, but prescribed an herbal remedy that restored his voice completely. The astonishing discovery was that in this sleep-like state, Cayce could tap into a universal database of information about anyone, anywhere. All he needed was their name and address. Over 43 years, he gave over 14,000 documented readings. Respected physicians confirmed his medical insights. Countless people he never laid eyes on swore by his psychic accuracy. Scientists were baffled. They called him the sleeping prophet, because this river of knowledge only flowed when he was in a trance. Upon waking, he remembered nothing. A higher consciousness was speaking through him. And it was this consciousness that told us the secrets about our dogs. The information Cayce brought back about the animal kingdom was precise and consistent. He explained how different species serve different spiritual functions on the planet, why some are drawn to specific people, and how pets act as living bridges between our world and the spiritual plane. But dogs, Cayce insisted, hold a unique place. They are in a class of their own. They are the only animal species that deliberately chose to enter a sacred pact with humanity. This wasn't just about domestication for food or safety. It was a spiritual partnership. In one of his most profound readings, Case stated that dogs made a choice to evolve beside us. They willingly sacrificed a piece of their wild spirit to become our spiritual allies. This is a soul contract that renews itself across lifetimes. What makes Casey's claims so powerful is that he was saying these things decades before modern science even began to seriously study animal consciousness, interspecies communication, or the emotional bond between people and their pets. He was describing, in spiritual terms, reality science is only now catching up to. Case explained that a dog's energetic radar is far more sensitive than a human's. They can sense spiritual presences, see fluctuations in a person's aura, and even get glimpses of the future through a kind of extrasensory perception. A dog understands when its work with a person is done, Case said. They also know when their time has come. This is not tragedy. It is mission accomplished. In his readings, Case often referred to dogs as our spiritual mirrors. If you need to learn unconditional trust, you'll get a dog that embodies unwavering loyalty. If you need to cultivate patience, you might receive a dog that tests your limits. If you need to heal a broken heart, you will be given a dog whose very presence feels like medicine. The most incredible part, Case delivered these spiritual truths with the same matter of fact certainty he used to diagnose a physical disease. For him, healing the body and understanding the soul weren't separate things. It was all one unified spiritual reality. Now, nearly 80 years after his death, Edgar Case's words about dogs are being lived and proven by millions of people. Owners talk about telepathic moments, instances of uncanny protection, and personal growth so profound it can only be understood through the lens of what the sleeping prophet taught us. Case's authority doesn't just stem from a mystical gift. It's rooted in decades of information that has been proven true time and again. So when he speaks of your dog's spiritual mission, he is not guessing. He is reporting. He is relaying direct knowledge from a higher reality, and that knowledge is about to transform your relationship with the dog by your side. Stop for a second and think back to how you two met. Perhaps you walked into a shelter just to look and walked out with a soulmate. Or one just showed up on your porch lost. Or maybe you fought the idea of getting a pet for ages until some gut feeling, some unexplainable pull made you say yes. Do you honestly think that was a coincidence? Edgar Case uncovered a reality that will shatter that notion forever. You and your dog had an appointment. You knew each other long before you met in this physical world. You share a link that stretches across time, reality, and life itself. In the spiritual realm, between lifetimes, we forge pacts. We make soul contracts with those we agree to journey with on earth. These agreements are for family, for partners, for friends, and, yes, for our dogs. Canine souls select their human families before they are even conceived. Case explained in a reading that moved everyone in the room. They see our spiritual needs and prepare to serve us in the exact way we require. This means your dog isn't some random animal you brought home. It is a soul that signed up for a specific mission to aid in your spiritual journey. It knows your insecurities, your hidden fears, your unhealed wounds, and it arrived with the perfect personality toolkit to help you face those things. Just consider your dog's character. Is it fiercely protective? You probably have lessons to learn about security and trusting the world. Is it endlessly playful? Perhaps you need to reconnect with simple joy. Is it calm and zen-like? Maybe your soul is crying out for inner peace. But this soul contract goes deeper than just personality. Case revealed that many of our dogs are the reincarnations of pets who were with us in previous lives. They come back to continue a spiritual assignment that was started long ago. The recognition of a dog from a past life is immediate. Case stated, there is a familiarity that needs no introduction, a bond that feels ancient because it is. Have you ever had that feeling? The sense that you've known your dog for an eternity, far longer than the years it has been alive. That isn't just a fantasy, it is soul memory. The indicators of a past life bond are clear. Your dog might react to certain places as if it has been there before. It might have fears or preferences that have no logical source in its current life. It might possess skills or habits that seem almost hard-wired, as if they are echoes from another existence. Case also disclosed that some very special dogs are actually human souls who chose to incarnate as an animal to serve a specific person. These are the old souls in a dog's body, the ones with a human-like wisdom in their gaze, who exhibit profound compassion, and who sometimes act in ways that are startlingly human. These souls make an incredible sacrifice, Case taught. They choose to forego a human life in order to be a spiritual anchor for someone else. It's an act of pure love we can barely comprehend. This helps explain why some dogs seem to grasp complex human emotions, why they show such sophisticated empathy, and why it sometimes feels like they are trying to teach you something vital with their behavior. The timing of their arrival is never an accident either. Your dog walks into your life at the precise moment of need. It might be during a personal crisis, right before a major life change, or when you're about to face something that requires the exact kind of support only that dog can provide. Case saw this perfect timing as evidence of the divine plan that guides our existence. Nothing is left to chance. Every meeting has a purpose. Every bond has a lesson. Every relationship is a spiritual assignment, and your dog's mission is one of the most sacred. They arrive to teach us what unconditional love really looks like, what true loyalty means, how to forgive instantly, how to find joy in this very moment, and what it feels like to be completely accepted. But they also come to be our energetic protectors, to help us heal wounds from the past, and to get us ready for the next phase of our spiritual path. When you look at your dog now, you aren't just seeing an animal, you're seeing a spiritual being who hit pause on its own journey to accelerate yours. You're seeing a courageous soul who signed up to stand with you through all of it. Why does your dog sometimes seem to be guarding you from something you can't see? Why does it get nervous in certain places? How does it seem to know when danger or a strange presence is near long before you do? The answer is far more profound than animal instinct. They are your personal energetic bodyguards. As humanity evolved, most of us lost our innate spiritual sensitivity. Dogs, however, have kept it fully intact. They see, feel, and react to planes of reality that our rational minds have tuned out. And they use this sixth sense to protect us in ways we can barely fathom. Dogs are spiritual sentinels. Case explained in one of his readings. They can perceive negative presences, heavy energies, and even spiritual entities that approach their human companions. This means when your dog is barking at what looks like an empty corner, it's not barking at nothing. It's sounding an alarm about something that is there, which your senses just can't pick up. This ability to perceive the unseen is why dogs were held as sacred guardians in countless ancient cultures. But their protection isn't just a warning system. They are living, breathing energetic shields. They have the ability to absorb negative energy aimed at their owners and neutralize it within their own auric field. Case revealed that a dog can absorb as much as 70% of the harmful energetic vibrations directed at its human. They do this intentionally as part of their soul contract. It's a selfless act of love. This astonishing fact explains why some dogs suddenly develop illnesses that seem to mirror the emotional or physical struggles of their owners. They aren't just randomly getting sick, they are literally taking on toxic energy to shield their human family. Case outlined 3 tiers of spiritual protection that dogs provide. The first tier is basic energetic guarding. Every dog naturally creates a protective bubble around its home and its people. They can feel when someone approaches with bad intentions, long before they even reach the door. This is why a dog might start barking or get agitated before a specific person arrives. The second tier is protection from entities. Dogs can see and interact with spirits and non-physical beings from dimensions close to our own. They act as a natural firewall against negative spiritual influences that might try to affect their family. The third tier is advanced psychic shielding. Some dogs, particularly those with a very deep spiritual bond with their owners, can actually intercept deliberate psychic attacks, curses, or focused negative thought forms. They absorb these energies and dissolve them before they can reach their human. What makes this protective duty so extraordinary is that it is entirely voluntary. Dogs aren't conscripted into this service. They choose it. It is the spiritual pact they made out of love before they were even born. A dog's loyalty is not just instinct, Case emphasized. It is a spiritual vow. They commit to protect and serve, and they carry out that promise with every fiber of their being. This dedication explains behaviors we often misinterpret. When your dog takes a dislike to someone, it isn't being rude. It is sensing something in that person's energy that it has flagged as a potential threat to you. When it insists on sleeping on your bed, it's not about being spoiled. It is about maintaining energetic protection over you during your most vulnerable state, sleep. While we sleep, our own energetic defenses are down. Dogs instinctively know this and go on high alert. It's why many owners notice their dogs are more vigilant at night, even when there's no obvious threat. Case also revealed that dogs can often sense negative events before they happen. They feel the shifts in the energy field that precede an accident, an illness, or a crisis. This is why they might suddenly start acting strangely or trying to warn you about something you can't see. They perceive future possibilities in the energy currents of the present. Case taught. An agitated dog may be warning you of something that is not yet manifest but is forming in the field of energy. This ability to see ahead is one of the most powerful forms of protection they offer. They don't just react to what is, they help prepare us for what's coming. Now that you know your dog is a spiritual guardian, it's time to learn how to read the signals it is constantly sending. Every bizarre or unexplainable behavior is a communication. Your dog is trying to tell you about realities you can't perceive. But first, I must invite you to take the Quantum Thinking Challenge. This is for anyone ready to consciously create their reality and manifest their desires. It's a 21-day program with exercises to rewire your mind, elevate your frequency, and unlock your true power. If you feel the call, check the first pinned comment. Now, let's start with the most misunderstood behavior, barking at empty air. When your dog barks at a wall where there's nothing, it is seeing something. Edgar Cayce taught that dogs can perceive spiritual presences, fields of residual energy, and even emotional imprints left behind from past events. Every space holds energetic memory, Cayce said. Dogs can read these memories like an open book. They bark to alert you to an energy that could be disruptive to the household. If your dog persistently barks at the same spot, take note. A traumatic event may have occurred there in the past. It might be a weak spot in the home's energetic shield, or a spiritual entity might be present. The type of bark is also a clue. Short, sharp barks often signal an alert to a physical presence. Long, deep, throaty barks can indicate negative spiritual energy. High-pitched, rapid barks are often a warning of imminent danger. Another mystical sign is when a dog refuses to enter a room. If your dog consistently avoids a certain space, it's sensing something. Dogs are like walking Geiger counters for energy. Cayce explained, they feel instantly when a room is heavy with negativity or occupied by an unwanted presence. If your dog refuses to go somewhere, trust its intuition. Cleanse the energy in that space. Light some sage, burn a white candle, or simply say a prayer for the purification and protection of the area. Have you ever seen your dog just stare intently at something you can't see? It might freeze for minutes, head cocked, with a look of intense concentration. When this happens, your dog is very likely observing a spiritual being. It could be a friendly guide, a deceased loved one visiting, or just an energy form passing through. Pay attention to your dog's reaction. If it seems calm and curious, the presence is likely benign. If it appears tense or afraid, the energy might need to be cleared. Those moments when your dog suddenly comes to you and insists on being near, for no clear reason, are also highly significant. Case revealed that dogs can feel when our energy is weak or when we're under some form of psychic stress. They move in to offer immediate reinforcement. As Case taught, their physical presence bolsters our own auric field, helping to repel negative influences. The next time your dog is suddenly glued to your side, ask yourself, what was I just thinking about? Was I worried or stressed? Your dog sensed you needed an energetic boost. Overly protective behavior is another key signal. If your dog suddenly won't leave your side, starts sleeping outside your bedroom door, or becomes more wary of strangers, it may be sensing you are in a period of spiritual vulnerability. This often occurs during times of major life change, emotional turmoil, or when we face difficult decisions. Our own energy field becomes more porous, and the dog instinctively ramps up its security detail. Tell me in the comments, what is the strangest thing you've ever seen your dog do? Let's figure out what they were trying to say. Food can be a spiritual signal too. A dog that abruptly stops eating may be processing negative energy from its environment or its owner. They literally lose their appetite when they are engaged in heavy-duty energetic work for their family. Case taught that if a dog stops eating for no medical reason, we must look at what is happening emotionally in the home. Is there conflict or stress that needs clearing? Sleep patterns are also revealing. A dog that sleeps far more than usual might be transmuting a large amount of absorbed negative energy. Sleep is how they process and purify themselves. Conversely, a dog that is restless all night, unable to settle, may be detecting intense spiritual activity around the house. It's staying on guard to protect the family during that vulnerable time. The most poignant sign Case described is when a dog begins to show an outpouring of affection for no apparent reason. It becomes extra cuddly, seeks more contact, and just wants to be close. They do this when they sense that their mission with a person is drawing to a close. Case revealed it's as if they know their time is limited, and they want to make every moment count. This knowledge gives us the sacred duty to listen to the signs our companions send us. And this communication is only the beginning. Edgar Case found that dogs don't just protect us, they serve as a perfect mirror of our soul. Every single trait, habit, and issue your dog has is a direct reflection of something happening on your own spiritual path. Dogs are an externalized printout of their owner's inner state. Case stated in a reading, they show us on the outside what we need to see about our inside, but cannot. This means your dog is an open book about you, its strengths, its weaknesses, its fears, its needs. All of it is being telegraphed through your dog's personality. Let's start with a classic example that turns everything on its head. A seemingly aggressive dog often doesn't belong to an aggressive person. It belongs to a person who is repressing their own anger. The dog is acting out the rage the owner won't allow themselves to feel. Instead of judging your dog's bad behavior, pause and ask, what part of me is this showing me? Where in my life do I feel threatened? Where am I failing to set healthy boundaries? Where am I not protecting my own space? Case explained that dogs arrive pre-loaded with the exact personality software required to show us our own blind spots. Let's look at the most common mirrors. Anxious dogs. If you have an anxious dog, you are likely struggling with anxiety yourself, even if you hide it well. Anxious dogs show up for people who need to learn to let go, trust the flow of life, and release the need for control. They force us to be more patient and to work on our own inner peace. Fearful dogs. A dog that is scared of everything is mirroring our own unacknowledged fears. They demonstrate how fear can shrink our world and keep us from living. As we help our dog build confidence, we learn how to confront our own fears. Stubborn dogs. A stubborn dog is a reflection of your own inflexibility. They appear for people who need to learn to be more adaptable and accepting. They are powerful teachers in the art of surrender. Clingy dogs. A dog that constantly needs attention is mirroring our own emotional neediness. It shows us where our desire for validation and affection might be out of balance. By teaching the dog to feel secure on its own, we learn to provide that same security for ourselves. Aloof dogs, highly independent dogs often choose people who have issues with intimacy and emotional connection. They teach us the dance between freedom and connection. But the most stunning mirror is how a dog's physical illness reflects the owner's emotional state. Casey's findings here were revolutionary. Digestive problems. Dogs with chronic stomach issues often belong to people who can't stomach a situation in their life. They are literally absorbing and processing the energetic distress their owners cannot digest. Skin conditions. A dog with skin problems may be reflecting the owner's issues with self-esteem and vulnerability. Our skin is how we meet the world, and skin problems in a dog can mirror the owner's struggles with how they are seen. Respiratory issues. A dog with breathing problems can reflect an owner who feels smothered or lacks the space to breathe in their own life. It can point to feelings of oppression or a lack of freedom. Heart problems, perhaps the most powerful mirror of all. Dogs who develop heart conditions are often with people who are carrying deep emotional heartache or have a closed-off heart. They are, quite literally, taking on their owner's heartbreak. Dogs assume their humans' illnesses as an act of spiritual service. Case said, they would rather suffer in the body than see their companion suffer in the soul. This revelation hands us a profound responsibility. When our dog gets sick, our first question should be, what part of my own life needs healing? Many times, as we do our own emotional work, our dogs make miraculous recoveries. But the mirror also works for good. Joyful, well-adjusted dogs reflect owners who are living in alignment. Affectionate, friendly dogs mirror people who are open to giving and receiving love. Your dog's best traits can also point to your own hidden talents. If your dog is remarkably intuitive, it's likely you have psychic gifts you are not developing. If it is fiercely protective, you may have a natural gift for nurturing and defending others. Edgar Cayce taught that we can fast-track our own spiritual development by paying conscious attention to the mirrors our dogs provide. Instead of getting frustrated by their behavior, we should ask, what is this trying to teach me about me? When we start seeing our dogs as soul mirrors, the relationship is completely transformed. We stop seeing problems to be fixed and start seeing lessons to be learned. Have you ever had the distinct feeling your dog just read your mind? Communication between a person and a dog doesn't rely on words, Cayce taught. It operates on thought, waves, on mental pictures, and on the direct transmission of energy from one consciousness to another. Dogs are natural telepaths because they never forgot how. While humanity developed spoken language and let our innate telepathic senses atrophy, dogs kept this pure line of communication open. They don't just hear our thoughts and feel our emotions, they are constantly broadcasting information back to us. The problem is, most of us have forgotten how to listen. Let's start with examples you've definitely experienced. The thought of a treat summons the dog. You're sitting on the couch, you don't make a sound, but you simply think about getting your dog a treat. Seconds later, it's in the kitchen, looking at you expectantly. It didn't hear you, it heard your intention. Shared grief, you're feeling heartbroken, but you're holding it in. Yet, your dog comes and rests its head on your lap, offering comfort. It felt your emotional state before you ever showed it. Knowing you're coming home, your dog gets excited and goes to the door minutes before you arrive, even if you keep an irregular schedule. It's not hearing your car, it's sensing your intention to return. Cayce explained this happens in what he called the shared field of consciousness. When you have a deep bond with a dog, you create a shared mental space where thoughts, feelings, and intentions flow freely. It's not magic, it's a law of spiritual physics. Cayce revealed that consciousness vibrates at a frequency. When two beings tune into the same frequency, telepathy is the natural result. But you can learn to do this intentionally. Here are the methods Cayce described. Method 1. Communicating with mental pictures. Sit calmly near your dog. Close your eyes and form a crystal, clear image of what you want to communicate. If you want it to come over, vividly picture it walking towards you. If you want it to be calm, see it lying peacefully. Hold that mental snapshot in your mind for several seconds, as if you're projecting a photo from your brain to its. Don't force it. Just send the image with calm focus. Method 2. Transmitting emotion. Dogs are masters at reading emotional energy. You can communicate your will through a feeling. If you want your dog to relax, generate a powerful feeling of peace inside yourself. If you want it to be alert, create a feeling of focused attention. The key is to genuinely feel it. Dogs read what you are, not what you're pretending to be. Method 3. The eye contact bridge. Gaze softly into your dog's eyes. This isn't a stare down, it's a look of love and connection. As you hold that gaze, mentally send your message. Case discovered that direct, loving eye contact opens an instantaneous telepathic channel. It's why you can have entire conversations with your dog without saying a word. Method 4. Ask mental questions. Watch for answers. You can ask your dog questions in your mind and then observe its response in its behavior, its energy, or its expression. Mentally ask, "Are you feeling okay?" and watch what happens. Ask, "Want to go outside?" and see the reaction. The answer might be a tail wag, a shift in posture, or even a sudden image or feeling that pops into your own mind. Trust your first impression. But this silent communication goes far beyond simple requests. Case revealed that dogs are often trying to send us critical information about our health, our future, and our spiritual state. Health alerts. Dogs can often detect disease before any symptoms show. If your dog begins obsessively sniffing or licking one spot on your body, pay attention. It may be alerting you to an imbalance that needs medical attention. Warnings about people. When your dog shows a strong, unexplainable aversion to someone, it is picking up energetic data that you can't see. Trust its read on people. It's almost always right. Future foresight dogs can sense the energetic shifts that precede big events. If your dog is acting erratically for no good reason, it might be sensing that something significant is on the horizon. The most moving revelation Edgar Case made about our dogs concerns their role as spiritual healers. Dogs are divine instruments of healing. Case stated, they have the capacity to absorb trauma, dissolve energetic blocks, and restore emotional harmony in their humans. This is one of their highest and most sacred duties. If you have ever been through a crisis and felt that your dog's presence gave you an almost mystical sense of comfort, you have experienced this healing power directly. That wasn't just companionship, that was a literal transfer of healing energy. Dogs have a natural gift most humans have lost. They can absorb negative energy and not be permanently harmed by it. They are conscious energetic sponges designed to soak up emotional toxins and alchemize them into light. Here's how the healing works. Absorption of emotional trauma. When you are in deep pain, grief, heartbreak, fear, your dog senses the disruption in your energy field. It will physically move closer and through touch or just proximity, begin to draw that dense, painful energy out of you. Have you noticed how your dog sticks to you like glue when you're sad? It's not just for comfort, it's performing energetic first aid, energetic transmutation. Once a dog absorbs this negative energy, it processes it through its own system. Case explained they have an innate ability to break down dense energy and transform it back into neutral or positive energy. They are spiritual alchemists, turning our emotional lead into gold. Return of healed energy. After processing the negativity, the dog sends purified, balanced energy back to you. This happens through their licks, their warm bodies, and even through a loving gaze. This is why you genuinely feel better after cuddling your dog. You have received an energetic transfusion of healed energy. This is not just a sweet metaphor. It's a real energetic transaction that you can feel. So many people report that after a devastating loss, and they began to slowly heal, and their dog's unwavering presence was the central pillar of that recovery. Case identified different healing specialties among dogs. Healing anxiety. Dogs are experts at healing anxiety because they embody the energy of the present moment. They don't worry. Their very being calms our frantic nervous systems and anchors us in the now. Healing depression. A dog's life force is a natural antidote to the heavy, stagnant energy of depression. They radiate pure joy and an uncomplicated love of life. This light literally helps dissolve the darkness. Healing trauma dogs are masters at healing trauma because they provide absolute emotional safety. There is no judgment, no criticism, no abandonment. Their unconditional presence creates a secure container where old wounds can finally surface and be healed. Healing loneliness. The soul, deep connection we form with our dogs is a powerful balm for the wounds of loneliness and abandonment. They prove to us that we are worthy of steadfast love and that we are never truly alone. This healing is amplified during sleep. Case revealed that when we sleep near our dogs, a profound energetic synchronization takes place. Our auras merge, and healing occurs at the deepest subconscious levels. The conscious mind is offline during sleep. Case explained, this is when the most profound soul healing can happen. A dog sleeping next to its human is actively mending wounds in the soul. This explains the instinct so many of us have to sleep with our dogs. It's not just for warmth, it's an unconscious need for energetic healing. But their healing isn't just emotional, it can be physical too. Healing vibrations. While we associate purring with cats, dogs produce similar low-frequency vibrations through their steady breathing and heartbeat. These vibrations have been shown to stimulate physical healing in the body. Healing warmth. A dog's body heat is not just physical, it's energetic. When a dog rests on a sore part of your body, it is applying a healing warmth that can boost circulation and cell regeneration. Healing pressure. Dogs often intuitively know where to apply pressure to stimulate energy points, much like acupressure. When they lean on you or rest a paw, they are often activating a healing point. Case also noted that different types of dogs can have different healing specialties. Large breeds are often specialists in healing deep trauma and providing a sense of security. Small breeds are excellent for healing anxiety and issues of self-worth. Calm, quiet dogs are ideal for healing stress. High energy, playful dogs are perfect for healing depression and apathy. The most extraordinary truth is that dogs perform this healing work consciously. They know what they're doing. They deliberately take on our pain to help us. Giving our dogs energy baths through time in nature, joyful play, and immense affection is how we help them clear the energies they've absorbed from us. It is our part of the sacred contract. When we truly understand that our dogs are our healers, our gratitude for them becomes infinite. They are not just pets, they are four-legged angels on a mission of healing and love. And this healing is only the beginning of the journey they came here to take with you.